Hey cats, EDDBUD here. New month, new year, it's time for the running shoe bargains of January 2022. Hey cats, welcome back to the channel and get ready for some cosmic running shoe bargains. Even Del Boy and Rodney with their special suitcase can match some of the bargains I'm going to show you today. If you're enjoying the content on the channel, help us out here by subscribing, but also clicking the bell below for notifications when we roll out the new videos for you. And it really helps out the channel in terms of that YouTube algorithm if you give this video a thumbs up like, but also share it with your running buddies. You know it makes sense. We're kicking off with Nike first. They've still got some great sale deals. They had an insane sale just after Christmas, but there's still a few nice selections in the chocolate box. The Alphafly is still available in the hyper turquoise and black version, but I think there's a couple of other ones too that appear there around about the same price. They've reduced it down to 181 through to about 188 pounds, so a good £80 discount over the retail price for the viewer's top rated marathon shoe. I was really surprised about that one. When I did that poll towards the end of last year, yeah, that's what came out on top. Viewers seemed to really enjoy that for the marathon distance, even though perhaps it kind of felt like it was a bit overlooked. I think if you've got a marathon coming up or planned in 2022, fingers crossed that it still goes ahead of course, this could be worth a bash. Okay. The Invincible run with its ZoomX slab is still on offer in multiple foot shades at 96 Earth credits over here in the UK. These prices are directly on Nike's own website. Sadly, only sizes up to around 9 UK are available, so if you have a smaller foot and require the huge squash and forgiving foot feel of the Invincible, now is the time. Huge discounts can also be had on the Nike Zoom Fly 4. This model's only been out for a few months, so I was really surprised to see them discount it so quickly. Wasn't my cup of tea, but that doesn't mean to say it won't be yours. They've reduced this one from 145 down to 87 Earth credits. Obviously Earth credits will be in not plentiful supply right now, I should imagine, for most people, with Christmas just happening. Everyone's stabilising a little bit. I am. I think Nike have cleared out most of the stock here, so only a few sizes left in a few different colourways. If you're quick, you might get lucky, but pairs are very limited. And you've got to say it's Nike's cheapest carbon plate option at the moment. Moving across to Adidas now. That classic SL20 is still discounted over at the Adidas official site. A wonderful lightweight beast for only 70 Earth credits. I think that's quite an appropriate discount for a really appropriate shoe. Just really versatile, you can use it for pretty much anything. I don't think anybody would want to run a marathon in it, but that's not really its intended use case. I think there's just about every size up to about 10.5 UK at the moment, though I would suggest going up at least a half size in the SL20, it does run short. Very low weight shoe this one, and a nice minimal profile on foot. If you don't want all that extra padding and plushness, then the SL20 is for you. I think it's still a great shoe, even in 2022. If you let your Boost, that dependable cushion, then you're in luck right now. Adidas have got a 40% offer on the Ultraboost 21. So that drops the price down to 112 Earth credits. A lot easier to stomach that. Great upper and super durable midsole material. I think the Boost is a midsole that works pretty much in every single temperature. It's not one of those that's really reactive in terms of the types of conditions you might be running. A number of colorways available in this Adidas staple shoe. I see lots of local runners opting for this more firm but dependable cushion. Ultraboost has been around a long time, and that Boost material, some say it's a little bit old hat, but I think it has its use still. Super Squash isn't top of everybody's list, you have to remember. Moving across to Sportschoose.com. They've always got some good deals. There's a whole clutch of different shoe discounts right now, let's dive in. The Asics Meta Racer is down to 108 Earth credits from 180. You've got to go for the digital aqua and French blue colourway though. They're super light up here and moisture expelling design. Needs a fast pace and mid to forefoot strike to get the best from it, but I think if you're after a firmer propulsive race shoe, then the Meta Racer won't do you wrong. There's some significant drive there if you put a lot of energy into the Meta Racer. A wonderful shoe, I think, if you want to veer away from some of the super stacks that we've got at the moment. Perhaps if you have vertigo or something like that and you don't want to be too far off the ground. Perhaps if you're very tall, you just want something that's a little lower to the ground, a little bit more responsive perhaps. I can see a stack height war in 2022. It's happening, it's coming. You just got to get ready. Stock up on low stack shoes now. Loads of sizes available in the Meta Racer, so you know what to do. Zero drop shoes. Don't be scared. Sportschoose.com have got the Ultra Escalante 2.5 down to 72 Earth credits now. So a retail price of 120, I think this is a really good discount. A lovely comfortable upper and a wider forefoot that creates a little bit more natural splay to the toes. I tested these out and found the zero drop to be nowhere near as difficult to get used to, I suppose, as people make out. I think if you carefully introduce them into the rotation, you'll have no problems. It's kind of like when you buy a new pair of jeans, you've got to slowly integrate them in until they become part of you. At this price, I think it's certainly worth a spin, and the outsole I found to be really great. Kind of looks like a foot underneath your foot, so it's something that Stephen Strange would say. 50 notes doesn't get you too much these days, does it? 3 or 4 pizzas or something, maybe a video game and a Twix, though it could get you a pair of the Adidas RC3s. So in the same mould as the SL20, but a lower stack and equally lower profile. You could just say it's a minimised version of the Takumi Sen 7, I suppose. I think if you like your shoes with a lower stack and a nice tight fitting upper, then the RC3 might be for you. Only 21.5mm of heel stack, and it's about a 9.5mm drop here. A short range racer at a lower price. I think they've got a variety of different colourways here. I think there's a blue one, there's a black one, and some gaudy red one too. Not too sure about that one. Loads of sizes available in the RC3, so pop over to sportschoose.com and do what you gotta do. Right, last time on this one, I do promise the Under Armour Flow Velociti Wind. I've included it on loads of my bargain running shoe videos over the last few months. People are missing out. Come on guys, give it a whirl. A lovely containing upper on this one, which isn't all that dissimilar to the Endorphin Speed. Though the foam underfoot is more responsive, more rebound-like I suppose, rather than the squashiness you get from the Speed. Original retail price on this one was 140 Earth credits. They've reduced it down quite considerably though. You can pick up a pair of the Under Armour Flow Velociti Wind for 84 Earth credits now. What a price. Though I would suggest perhaps going a half size up in this Under Armour shoe. Does run a little short. I wouldn't suggest it's ridiculously short, but you may have a more pleasant experience if you go a half size up. Light and nimble and very overlooked, this gem of a running shoe. And now at a very nice discount. A superb shoe I recently had the pleasure of testing out was the Asics Magic Speed. It's now been reduced on sportschoose.com to only 101 Earth credits. I think somebody picked them up for even sub 100 the other day. I can't remember which viewer it was. Somebody in the comments. Well, I think that's a great discount down from 145. I think it makes this tempo pace shoe a real steal. Durable rubber outsole with some great lug depth here. A 5mm drop, although I think that's a bit of a red herring as you've got that significant curve design from the mid to forefoot. At around 100 Earth credits, I think it's worth a punt. One last shoe I think it's worth testing out is the Nike Tempo Next Percent. Sportschoose.com have got a few pairs down to 126. I know people have picked them up for even less than that on Nike's website around a week ago. Do shop around there guys, do check out your local retailers or online stores. You might be able to pick them up for even less than the price I've quoted today. Considering these are 180 retail, I think if you can get them for around 125, you're doing pretty well. You got that wonderfully containing upper and a perfect blend of React and ZoomX in the midsole. I think it could hit the spot if you're looking for a long range, high pace shoe, perhaps something for your long runs. And also if you want to experience partly what it's like to run in the Alphafly. It was certainly one of the most propulsive and fun shoes that I tested out in 2020. I managed to pick them up right when they released, but it's still a line that seems to be going very strong. It's one that sort of picked up pace, no pun intended, as it's gone on. It's got that momentum going. That's exactly what the shoe is like on foot. I think it's worth a roll of the dice. Have I missed any pucker products that are on sale right now? Help the runners out by letting us know down in the comments. A musical interlude for you. I think some Ramones material from the 80s gets a bit of a bad rap. People don't like some of the production values, but there's one album that I really do enjoy. It's 1980s released, End of the Century. It's got two of my favourite Ramones tracks on here. Do You Remember Rock and Roll Radio and Rock and Roll High School. If you can't get excited about Rock and Roll High School, there's just something wrong with you. Do You Remember Rock and Roll Radio is one of those tracks where you can almost hear the Ramones recalling the stuff that they really liked or wish they could have experienced about early rock and roll. Alan Freed, listening to the wireless, you know, with the bedclothes over the top of you, listening to the radio and the rock and roll tune so no one else can hear. And Rock and Roll High School is just fantastic. One of my most cherished live musical performances was performing Rock and Roll High School with my band dressed up as the Ramones. That was quite fantastic. It felt like I'd been elevated into the heavens. There was a wonderful PA system that we were playing through at the time, very powerful. And because we were dressed as the Ramones, it almost like we channeled the spirit. I can remember singing that song, Rock and Roll High School, is just one of the most fun things I've ever done. It's got all the best bits about rock and roll kind of condensed into one track. Go and check it out, guys. Some of the other tracks on the album are okay, but these two are real winners. End of the Century by the Ramones. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of today's video. It's always appreciated. I might have another one up for you later on. Depends how I get on. I'll get my editing hat on. Oh, I'm already wearing it. Remember to hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications when we launch those new videos for you. And it really helps us out in terms of the YouTube algorithm if you give this video a thumbs up, like, but also share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you.